At 10, we have the very latest on two major developing stories at home and abroad. First, a very personal message from Catherine, Princess of Wales, who's revealed she's receiving chemotherapy for cancer.
This, of course, came as a huge shock. And William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family.
I'm live at Buckingham Palace after the King said tonight he was so proud of his beloved daughter-in-law's courage.
Also tonight, in Russia, at least 40 people are dead after what's being described as the worst terrorist attack in years. Panic as gunmen open fire and trigger explosives inside a concert hall near Moscow. The venue was hosting a rock concert and was packed with people.
The search is on for the attackers who are believed to have escaped, having left a trail of death and destruction at the concert hall.
And this is the scene live tonight with the emergency and security services out in force.
On BBC London, money donated after the murder of Sarah Everard is distributed among charities for women and girls. The donations came flooding in after anger at police.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the news revealed in the last few hours that the Princess of Wales is undergoing treatment for cancer. Catherine made the deeply personal announcement herself in a video message, and this is what she said in full.
I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful messages of support and for your understanding whilst I've been recovering from surgery. It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I'm so grateful. In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment. This, of course, came as a huge shock, and William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family. As you can imagine, this has taken time. It has taken me time to recover from major surgery in order to start my treatment, but most importantly, it has taken us time to explain everything to George, Charlotte and Louis in a way that's appropriate for them and to reassure them that I'm going to be okay. As I've said to them, I am well and getting stronger every day by focusing on the things that will help me heal in my mind, body and spirits. Having William by my side is a great source of comfort and reassurance too, as is the love, support and kindness that has been shown by so many of you. It means so much to us both. We hope that you'll understand that as a family, we now need some time, space and privacy while I complete my treatment. My work has always brought me a deep sense of joy, and I look forward to being back when I'm able. But for now, I must focus on making a full recovery. At this time, I'm also thinking of all those whose lives have been affected by cancer. For everyone facing this disease, in whatever form, please do not lose faith or hope. You are not alone.
The Princess of Wales there in her statement. Daniela Ralph, our royal correspondent, is here. There's a quiet dignity and a strength in those words.
There is, Clive. It is the princess as we have never seen her before in all her years in public life. I don't think she has ever spoken as personally or as openly about how she is feeling, about her family and what is going on in her private life. It is Catherine in her own words, and it is extremely powerful. What it will also do is go some way to dampen down all of those conspiracy theories and speculation that's been following her in recent weeks. This is a princess who is talking directly to the public. And my report now looks back on what has been an unsettled period for the whole of the royal family. This was the last official footage of the Princess of Wales alongside the royal family on Christmas Day at Sandringham, with her 3 children, who she is now so keen to protect after going public with news of her diagnosis. Back in December, all had seemed well as she spoke to the crowds.
Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you to come and say hello to us. Yeah, well, very happy Christmas.
But 3 weeks later, she was admitted to hospital for major abdominal surgery. It was in her post-operative tests that signs of cancer were found. Tonight, Buckingham Palace issued a statement on behalf of the King. He said he was so proud of Catherine for her courage in speaking as she did, and that he remained in the closest contact with his beloved daughter-in-law throughout the past weeks. He also said that he and the Queen will continue to offer their love and support to the whole family through this difficult time. A message too from California. The relationship is still strained, but the Duke and Duchess of Sussex issued their own statement. Harry and Meghan said, "We wish health and healing for Kate and the family, and hope they're able to do so privately and in peace." But perhaps the most personal message of all came from the princess's brother on Instagram. James Middleton posted a childhood photo with his sister and wrote, "Over the years, we've climbed many mountains together. As a family, we will climb this one with you too." The clamour for information about the princess's condition has been intense. This footage, published earlier this week, filmed by a member of the public, showed her shopping in Windsor with her husband last weekend. And this photo, released on Mother's Day, to ease some of the public speculation, did the opposite, with the princess issuing a statement to say she'd made some edits to the image. A turning point appears to have been this Thanksgiving service in Windsor for King Constantine of Greece at the end of February. The rest of the royal family were there, but the Prince of Wales pulled out that morning, very suddenly, due to a personal matter. We now know this was around the time the princess was diagnosed and began her treatment. It's been an incredibly turbulent few weeks for the family. The couple's priority has been to protect their children and ensure they have time to explain what's wrong to Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis. They now hope the speculation will stop as they spend time privately during the Easter break. In Windsor, where the family live, there was sympathy and support for the princess.
And I think she's actually been very brave to set the record straight, and I'm hoping now that she will get some privacy for her and her family.
It is sad. You don't wish that on anybody, with whoever they are.
Yeah. Ready?
The princess won't be back to a full programme of public duty for some time. We may see her occasionally, but only when her medical team have approved. For now, the Princess of Wales wants time, space and privacy to deal with her diagnosis and recovery.
Daniela's joined here now by Fergus Walsh, our medical editor. Daniela, you mentioned Harry and Meghan in your report. This must be so difficult for them, being so far away.
It is. That statement from California, from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, came to us a couple of hours after the official statement here, wishing Kate health and healing. What we don't know, though, is when Harry and Meghan were told about the princess's diagnosis. The relationship between the two brothers is still really strained and very poor. And both sides, both Kensington Palace and Archwell, who represent Harry and Meghan in California, both say that they won't discuss any private conversations within the family.
The bottom line from all this is that we now have a clearer sense of the trauma that this family have been going through over the last few days and the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's clearly on a personal level been a terrible, terrible time for them. But it's also been a very, very unsettling time for the whole of the royal family. We're in the extraordinary position now, Clive, where we have both the King and the Princess of Wales undergoing cancer treatment. And Buckingham Palace has been really keen to show us the King at work, haven't they, doing constitutional duties, because he is the monarch and they want to show us exactly what he is still able to do. There isn't that same pressure on the Princess of Wales, and don't expect to see much of her in the weeks to come. She will want to make her recovery in private.
Sure. OK. Fergus, just firm up for us exactly what we do know and don't know about the princess's condition.
So the cancer was found after successful abdominal surgery in January, which was thought to be non-cancerous, but subsequent tests showed that cancer had been present. And the princess is now having what they term preventative chemotherapy. Now, chemotherapy is an umbrella term for any drug treatment which kills cancer cells. It can be given via an infusion, an IV drip into the arm, traditional chemotherapy, or increasingly now targeted treatment via tablets that you can take at home. We're not being told what type of cancer she had, nor what stage it was caught at. I'm not going to speculate on that. Kensington Palace says, like all patients, she has a right to medical privacy. But the tone of Catherine's video statement was really positive and upbeat, and she's told her children, she said, I'm well and getting stronger every day.
And what's also sad is the truth, frankly, that the news of a cancer diagnosis and news of treatment, it's familiar for so many families right across the country. And also having to break that news to loved ones, including children.
Absolutely. 1 in 2 of us will get a cancer diagnosis at some point in our lives. Most of us later in life, but some, like Kate earlier, and many, like Catherine, will have to share that diagnosis with young children. Today in the UK, like every day, 1,000 people are told they have cancer. It's a staggering statistic, and there are 3 million people now living in the UK with cancer, and the princess addressed them directly at the end of her statement, saying, please do not lose faith or hope, you're not alone. And I think that's a key message tonight.
It is, very much so, right at the end of that statement. Okay, Daniela Fergus, thank you very much indeed, and we'll have more on this a little bit later in the programme. We're going to turn now to our top story and the Princess of Wales's announcement that she's undergoing treatment for cancer. It has been a turbulent few months for the royal family, and a vacuum of information in recent days and weeks has led to frenzied speculation about what's been happening with the Prince and Princess of Wales, as David Silito now reports.
When, in January, a brief statement was made that the Princess of Wales was to have a medical procedure and a period of convalescence, it was meant to be a chance to escape the daily pressures of media scrutiny. But what ensued was a deluge of speculation, conspiracy and debate.
Where is Kate Middleton?
It's been crazy how much speculation about Kate has taken over the internet. You're seeing it all across the world. You're even seeing people who don't normally pay attention to the royal family getting involved in speculating and throwing theories around. You're also seeing a lot of jokes and a lot of memes. But within that, there is a core group of people, and it's a growing group of people who are genuinely concerned about Kate and her health.
On TikTok, the running total of views of videos about the Princess of Wales has now topped 14 billion.
It's a beautiful shot of a mom and 3 happy kids.
One of the drivers of that interest was this photo that was revealed to have been digitally altered. And even when footage emerged of the royal couple at a farm shop in Windsor, there were still those wondering if this was AI trickery or a body double. But the mood has rather changed with the release of the statement filmed by the BBC's production arm. In a statement it said, BBC Studios filmed a message from the Princess of Wales at Windsor this week. We would like to wish Her Royal Highness a speedy recovery. There's also an assurance there are no edits in the video.
We just heard, obviously all of us just heard the terrible news. Our thoughts are with the Duchess of Cambridge and her family.
And the statement brought an immediate response. Here, the White House with a message of support and a plea for privacy.
And we will begin with that breaking news.
Relentless interest, both from press and public, is always going to be part of royal life, but these last few weeks have been on a different level. A family taking a moment to step back as they deal with what's just emerged has led to a social media storm. But now, the chief executive of X, or Twitter as it used to be, has called for calm. It is, she says, surely reasonable to respect the Princess of Wales' request for time, space and privacy. David Silito, BBC News.
It means so much to us both.
We're going to hear from Daniela Ralph in a second, but first Mark Easton is live at Buckingham Palace for us now. Mark, after the King's cancer diagnosis, another significant blow for the royal family.
Yes, absolutely, Clive. It really is another significant blow. Catherine is such an important part of the royal family, and the slimmed down monarchy means that it's not just a personal matter, it's professional too. That slimmed down monarchy does look dangerously stretched tonight. The King, as you say, unable to take part in many public duties. Prince William himself has said he will return to royal duties in the middle of next month when his children go back to school in the middle of April. But of course, he's going to want to spend considerable time with his wife and be around for his children. Other royals, of course, Prince Andrew has stepped back from royal duties, no longer a working royal. The Sussexes, Harry and Meghan, no longer working royals. Queen Camilla, well, she has stepped up, taken the place of her husband at a number of events, but she is 76 years old. I'm sure the palace is not going to want to increase her workload any further. So I think that there will be a determination in the palace to try and do something to ensure there aren't too many royal events. They'll probably be looking to prune back on some of them, because it's worth noting that the average age now of the working royals without Kate is 72 years old.
Given everything, Mark, many will perhaps marvel at the composure and the self-assuredness of the princess in breaking what is dreadful news.
Well, I think people will be struck by the, as you say, the way that she did it. She does appeal across the generation. She is the model of sort of wholesome, healthy normality, a vital dose, I think, of ordinariness in the House of Windsor. But worth remembering, she is also a global superstar. You know, she's been repeatedly voted one of the most influential people on the planet, and she is the UK, according to the pollsters, she's the UK's favourite royal. The UK monarchy is weaker without her around, the King unwell, a family riven by scandal and quarrel. They will miss her, and they will be praying that she makes a speedy recovery and a return to public life.
OK, Mark, thank you for that. Mark Easton there live at Buckingham Palace. Well, the video message from the Princess of Wales was made public early this evening, putting an end to weeks of speculation about why Catherine hadn't been seen in public. This is what she said.
In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment. This, of course, came as a huge shock, and William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family. As you can imagine, this has taken time. It has taken me time to recover from major surgery in order to start my treatment, but most importantly, it has taken us time to explain everything to George, Charlotte and Louis in a way that's appropriate for them and to reassure them that I'm going to be okay. As I've said to them, I am well and getting stronger every day by focusing on the things that will help me heal in my mind, body and spirits. Having William by my side is a great source of comfort and reassurance too, as is the love, support and kindness that has been shown by so many of you. It means so much to us both.
Let's get a final word from Daniela, who's here. First of all, a shout out to the public.
Yeah, very much so. And that was, of course, Catherine, Princess of Wales, speaking directly to the public. That video message was her attempt, I think, just to shut out some of the noise of recent weeks and tell people how she is feeling, what's going on in her life, how she feels about her family and her children, directly, to try and block out some of that speculation and rumour that has dogged her and made her so incredibly upset, we know, in recent weeks. This was Catherine, in her own words, a very direct message from her in a way we haven't seen before.
And I'm struck, I'm sure we all are, by the penultimate paragraph of what she said. We hope that you will understand that as a family, we now need some time, space and privacy while I complete my treatment. Does this statement finally draw a line underneath all the stuff that we've heard, the conjecture, the rumours, the speculation over the last few days and weeks, do you think?
I think it goes a long way to drawing a line under it, because we have heard from her directly herself, in her own words, and also seen her. It's a really interesting dilemma at the moment, Clive, for the royal family, because modern royalty requires the public to be interested in it. It needs public support. And at this time, when everything is far from normal, there does appear to be a huge amount of sympathy and interest in the royal family, helped by Catherine's message today, I think. But in the weeks ahead, things will continue to look very different indeed. The King, Buckingham Palace want us to see him carrying out some constitutional duties. We will continue to see him at times. But for Catherine, Princess of Wales, she does want to retreat now. Her and her husband and her 3 children have 2 to 3 weeks off for the school holiday. We're not going to see them during that time. It's only then we'll see Prince William. But even then, his priority remains his wife's recovery.
Indeed. OK. Daniela Ralph, our royal correspondent, many thanks.